Well, a very good evening to you, one and all. Actually, it's afternoon here, but I figured, hey, must be evening somewhere out there, right? So today, I thought I'd do something a little bit different from the usual aircraft. Today, I'm going to talk about the Agora Models T-800 Terminator. That's right, very different indeed. One of my all-time favorite movies. Yep, Terminator, gotta love it. At least the first couple, anyway. After that, some of them are a little iffy, but first couple I still really like. And so I was really pleased when I started doing this model. Now I've been doing this for quite some time. In fact, long before the old YouTube thing was even a glint in my eye, I started building Mr. Terminator, and so I have got quite a bit of progress on them. But that's okay. Honestly, I don't think it's necessary to take you through every single painstaking step of the construction because most of it is variations on the same theme. You either screw and or glue or snap something together. And that's pretty much the entire construction. So I think it's okay that you've missed what I've done so far, but I will show you some of the packs that I have and some of the instructions and stuff like that, and we'll go through it and see what you get. Now, Agora Models does a lot of different kits. They have cars, they have some aircraft, they have an Apache attack helicopter, they do Optimus Prime from Transformers, and various other things. And I will stick a link into their website in the description so you can have a look for yourself. And most, if not all of them, I believe they do as 12-month subscriptions. That is, you pay monthly and you get a pack of parts each and every month for 12 months until you've completed your model. Now, I think, certainly the case with the Terminator anyway, you can also pay for the whole thing all at once and get presumably a quite large box delivered to you full of parts, which then you can assemble as any normal kit. Now, I quite like the subscription thing myself. Number one, it spreads out the cost because these things, they ain't cheap, that's for sure. But number two, and most importantly, I think that if I'd had a very large box of 650 plus pieces arrive on my doorstep, I probably would have cracked that box open and gone, ooh, look at this. This is amazing. This is really cool. And then I would have closed the box up, stuck it in the stash, and it probably would never have seen the light of day again. Yeah, that's my usual method anyway. But getting a few parts each month makes it much less daunting, and you can actually make some progress steadily over the course of a year until you've finished it. So, without further ado, allow me to introduce to you the Agora Models Terminator. Here he is right here. Come on, buddy. Work with me. Yeah, there's people watching. There we go. Yeah, never mind about the wire here. That's just doctor's orders. Look at the camera. Don't be shy. There he is there. So, as you can see, get that out of there. It is a substantial model. It is 1:2 scale, so he's just a hair over 3 feet tall when he's finished. And he will be quite heavy. In fact, he's already quite heavy. I believe the completed model weighs 13 pounds. So he's a big boy for sure. So yeah, there he is. This is what I've got done so far. Isn't he adorable? Hey, come on, mister. There's no call for that kind of behavior. Get that out of there. Sorry about that. He's a little cranky. Sit up straight. There we go. All right, so the model is fully articulated. Everything moves, as you can tell, his head, neck, shoulders, arms, fingers. Yeah, we already saw that. Thank you. And here's more of him here. I'll just lift him up there. So obviously, he's not quite complete. He's sort of missing an arm, and he's on his last leg. Or is it his first leg? One of the two. So, yeah. Everything moves, the hips move, you can make him dance, you can make him sing. The eyes light up, a menacing red glow. And there's also, at some point, you get a remote control, and you can move his eyes back and forth by remote control. And his jaw also opens and closes by a remote control. And so I'll just turn him around here, and you can have a look. I haven't got the back of his head on yet. In fact, I don't think I have it yet. So there are 2 motors in his head. There's the wires. There is a battery pack, which I have been supplied with, but it's not been installed yet. I haven't got to that step. So one motor, this back one, actuates his jaw, and the other one at the very front that you can't see will make his eyes move back and forth by remote control. How cool is that? So there he is there. Now, I have got, where did I just finish? Almost finished putting pack number 8 on. I did get a little bit behind, so I do have, no, hang on. I just did pack number 7. I do have 8 and 9 to go on, and I've just received pack 10. So I've got three more packs to put on, and then after that, I will have 2 more, and he will be done. So do have a look at him on the Agora Models website. It's pretty cool. Comes with a base that lights up with all sorts of charred and toasted human skulls on it, you know. Cool. And yeah, I like it. It's pretty cool. So that's him. We'll just set him aside for the moment because he's actually kind of heavy. Now, and I'll show you. Now, this is right here. This is pack number 10. This arrived a few days ago. That's what you get every month, is a box like that. And inside, so you get an instruction booklet. And what's cool about these is you also get a different article every month on not only the Terminator movie, but other similar genre movies, sci-fi, robots, killer cyborgs, that kind of thing. Made some bubble wrap. That's important. So basically what you get every month is these double layered blister pack thingies full of parts. And the parts themselves are extremely good quality. A lot of them are cast metal. Some of them are ABS that have been chrome plated. But I do find, yeah, okay, we're not thrilled about the plastic packaging, but have to say it does protect them really well. I have yet to come across any that have had the chrome scraped off or even scuffed. So they do the job. You know, might not be terribly environmentally friendly, but what the hell, eh? So yeah, that's a typical pack that you receive each and every month. And basically, each one of these plastic packs conforms to a step in the instructions. And I'll go through that when I show you the instructions. So that's that there. Get that out of there. Okay, so here's the instructions, and it's really more of a magazine than anything. It's extremely well laid out, very well thought out, illustrated, such and so forth. So when you start a step, it shows you exactly which parts you'll be using in that particular step. You just match that up to one of those little blister packs so that you can find your pieces. And then you get screws and connectors and tabs and things, and they pretty much give you at least one extra of every screw for every step. So yeah, you end up with quite a few extras. In fact, these are all the extras that I've ended up with so far, and I'm only on what did I say, stage 8, pack 8. So yeah, you get plenty of extras, so that's good. Now I do have a couple of very minor gripes about the model. I think number one, if we can get him back up here. There you go. So if we look at the picture on there, the teeth look pretty human. You know, they look like false teeth, I guess. Pretty menacing. If we compare that, and I'll just get him a little closer here, I would say that is the one thing on the model I don't think that they've done terribly well, because these look a little more like, I don't know, ivory colored picket fences. Don't really capture that look, I don't think. So I don't know. Hopefully I can improve it a little bit with maybe a little bit of a wash in there, maybe some careful painting. I think that'll look quite a bit better, but still, yeah, don't really cut it. Not like the attention to detail they put into the rest of the kit. As I say, minor gripe. I think it can be fixed, or at least improved. So that's the one thing. The other one is that in the instructions, get here. Yeah, so everything has a part number. But there are no part numbers on any of the blister packs or the parts themselves. And it can get a little bit ambiguous sometimes. Some of the parts do vaguely resemble some of the other parts. So it really is important to study these instructions and make sure you carefully choose the correct part for the job. But as I say, each blister pack corresponds to a different step. So for the most part, it ain't too difficult. Assembly goes fairly quick. It's easy to put together. I haven't had any major fit problems whatsoever. One thing I would recommend if you go for this, and presumably a different one of their models, I started out and all I had was some jeweler's screwdrivers, and that just ain't gonna cut it. So I splurged and got myself a proper screwdriver. All of the screws so far that I come across are Phillips head, or crosshead if you like. A few are Allen screws, but they do supply you with an Allen wrench for those, so that's okay. And the bonus of this one is it's got a magnetic tip to it, which really helps to get screws into tight spots. So I would recommend splurge a few bucks and get yourself a proper screwdriver. Makes it a lot easier. Alrighty, let's move on. The entire model is really, really well thought out, very well engineered. I find they've really put a lot of effort and thought into how this will be assembled in the easiest possible way, and just the complexity of it alone must have taken a great deal of thinking to get that all together and get it fairly accurate. Something, and you'll find he's a little creaky. I guess that kind of comes with the territory. Some of the joints I find are a little bit stiff. I'm hoping they'll work in eventually, but let's not face it. Let's face it. I'm not going to be walking him around the room all the time. Once he's in a pose, he'll probably stay there. But this shoulder joint I find is a little bit stiff. But one of the things I really like is the fact that they've split up the assembly stages into different parts. And by that I mean 1 month you might get your pack of parts and instructions. You might do a little bit on the head, you might do a bit on the arm, maybe some other area. So it just breaks it up a little bit because, for instance, the fingers, they will get a little tedious. They're all articulated, so you've got all those little pieces. Each one is held together by pins with, I think they're Teflon bushings, so they hold their position. But if you had to assemble that hand all at once, I think that would get a little bit tedious. So basically, I think it was 2 or maybe even 3 months. You'd get parts for 1 or 2 fingers, and you do it that month, and you'd also work on something else. And that just breaks it up a little bit and just keeps the interest alive, if you will. So come on, put your arm down. So yeah, I really, really, really like the way they've thought this out and thought it through. Assembly, I would allow probably 1.5 to 2 hours per pack to install all the parts, and make sure you do it carefully and get all your pieces in the right place and positioned properly and all that. But yeah, it really, really isn't difficult. The instructions are extremely clear and concise. There really is no guesswork about it. So yeah, very, very happy with this. Looking forward to getting him done when I get the next or the last 2 packs. And I will do a follow-up video and show you what he's looking like, and the finished article with all the working features and the nasty red lighting up eyes. So he will be back. Indeed. So that's pretty much going to do it for Mr. Terminator today. So I think it's time for another exciting installment of the Gripe Dour. So, as I mentioned in the previous episode last weekend, which was the first ever Gripe Dour, these are things that I see or hear in everyday life that perplex me, or puzzle me, or just plain old piss me off. Well, today's gripe falls firmly in the latter category. Now, I'm sure many of you heard about this global initiative. I think it's by the G20 countries, or every country, I don't know, somebody. They have proposed that the super rich should actually pay some tax. Fantastic. It's about time, because up until now, apparently, and not surprisingly, they've pretty much paid fuck all in taxes. So I'm all for this idea. It's about time they contributed. to society, to economies, and paid their fair share. But apparently, the G20 countries, or whoever it is that's negotiating this whole deal, has a different idea of fair than I do, because their proposal is to tax them 2%. That's right, a whopping 2%. Now, from my point of view, that's kind of a kick in the teeth, because here in Canada, I'm paying 15% income tax. When I lived in the UK, I was paying 20%. So to hear that the stinking rich are going to be charged a massive 2%, well, frankly, that kind of gets my goat a little bit. Because let's face it, it's the likes of us mere mortals, myself, you people out there, we're the ones that are keeping economies going. We're the ones that are paying money out to local stores. We're paying our bills, or trying to. We're paying our taxes, again, trying to. We're the ones that are pumping money back into economies. We're keeping economies afloat. The super rich ain't, because that's one of the ways they got to be stupid rich. They don't pay for anything. So, I have a much better idea. One that I think is fairer, more equitable. How about we make the super duper rich pay 20%? And us mere mortals down here in reality land can pay 2%. How would that be? Because then we'd even have some more money in our pockets to contribute to the economy, to shop local. Maybe we can even pay our bills for a change. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? So there we go. That's my idea. 20% minimum for the super duper rich, because let's face it, even if you charge them 50%, I'd still be stinking rich. That's my thoughts on the subject anyway. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Well, that's pretty much going to do it for today. As always, thank you very, very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And also for everyone that's subscribed in the past and commented and shared and liked, also very much appreciated. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe. Think about becoming a member. There's some good perks in there. Check out the shop. You get some cool t-shirts and mugs and things. You gotta have that. And so, again, thank you for watching. That will be all for today. We'll see you again very soon, next weekend, all going well. And I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you're not into sci-fi or killer cyborgs or that kind of thing, don't worry. We will get back to our regularly scheduled airplane show as soon as possible. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.